Hey guys, it's JD. Just want to give you a heads up right out of the gate here. We had a little bit of audio difficulty on Michelle's side with this episode, but it's we think still perfectly listenable. Promise we're gonna get our shit together here in the new year. We've had some rough technical difficulties to end things off, but thank you for sticking with us. Anyway, here's the episode.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of We Watch Shudder. My name is Michelle, and who's here with me?
It's the Grinch. No, it's JD, guys. It's
Um,
JD.
aren't those the same person as far as I'm
Wow.
concerned? You hate
Wow.
Crimbus. No.
I tried to make a joke, and
Yep,
Michelle just hits
made
with
it
the
too real.
insults.
I don't think
Wow.
it's an insult to be a Grinch. People love the Grinch. If you had TikTok, you would know that. There's so many videos of people meeting the Grinch instead of Santa and having a
There's,
grand old time.
there's a crucial element to the point you just made, Michelle. People love the Grinch. They don't love just a Grinch. So thanks
Mm.
for making me feel terrible about myself right off the bat here within the first minute
I
of the
compared you to
podcast.
Jim Carrey.
Why
You're
don't you?
welcome.
Oh, gross. Even worse. Thanks,
What?
Michelle.
Oh, Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey.
Before you dig this grave any deeper, why don't you
Yeah,
tell people why we're talking to them on Christmas Day?
because we want to talk about holiday horror. That is horror, not horror.
Our Christmas gift to you, our holiday gift to you. We are equal opportunity holiday people. Our holiday gift to you is
This could
this
be a Hanukkah
episode.
horror
It could
episode
be.
because I like the sound of that.
It could be
Holiday
Hanukkah
horror,
horror.
Hanukkah
Could be
horror.
Kwanzaa horror. Could
Yeah,
be
Kwanzaa just doesn't ring as well.
could
Christmas
be
doesn't either.
solstice horror.
Yeah,
I don't know. Could be a lot of different
Halloween.
things. A lot of
Maybe
different
it's
things.
Halloween horror, and they're just late to celebrating. Either
That'd
way, it's
be
the reason for the season.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. We're just gonna kind of wander our way through some of our favorite uh holiday horror movies. Maybe some that we've just seen recently, some that are all-time favorites. Not entirely certain how this one is gonna go, but we're gonna find out. Michelle, you tend to
Mm-hmm.
be better at structure.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you? I'm gonna make you responsible for the quality of this episode from here on out.
Excellent.
I'm just along for the ride.
That's probably for the best. I know you panic if we don't have a structure, and I was like, I'm not going to have a top five. I can't do that.
That's fine.
So we will make this less panicky. I do want to start with a non-horror question and
Oh,
get it out of the
cripes.
way. What is your favorite Christmas movie overall? And it does not have to be horror, but
Hmm.
maybe it also is.
That's actually a really good question.
Thank you. I thought of it myself.
And I've considered this quite. The kitschy answer, of course, is to go with like a Die Hard, or something like that. But I'm not even really. I tell you what, can we come back around and have you ask me that
Yeah.
question at the end of the episode?
Ooh, yeah. I thought you'd
Okay,
have one for
cool.
sure. Okay, cool. We'll
Not
come back
not right
around.
off the top of my head. No, there's a few.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, I do, and I don't know why it just hit me, but of course I do. It's A Christmas Story.
Hey, that's one of the ones on my list. I bought it on
I
DVD
I
so that I can
I
watch it
love
on
A
repeat.
Christmas Story, and especially not sure why it didn't come to mind, considering one of the things we're absolutely going to talk about on this episode. But we'll get there in a moment, I'm sure.
Ooh, fun. Would you like to know my favorite Christmas movie?
I mean, not particularly, but you asked the question for a reason, so
Yeah,
go ahead.
it's gonna make you mad. I have seen you post a status disparaging people like this.
Oh God.
It is Love Actually.
Michelle, that movie is all kinds of
Great.
problematic.
You know what? Most romantic comedies are.
You're not wrong.
It's very hard to watch something in a movie and be like, that's stalker behavior. So you have to
And
like
or
suspend the disbelief.
or what you could do is not watch romantic comedies.
Oh, no, of course I have to. Bill
No, you
Nye,
don't.
his whole storyline is in that is that he's an old rock musician who is now realizing that the spirit of the season is just him being friends with his manager. It's so sweet. There are so many storylines that aren't problematic. The young boy talking to his father, Liam Neeson, about how he has a crush on a girl in his class and then he chases her down before she gets on the plane just to say goodbye or whatever. It's very adorable. It's a great, great movie. You can ignore the whole prime minister plot line, although I do love Hugh Grant's little dance that he does. Um, I love Love Actually. I've seen that movie so many times. So
Well, I
I
mean,
had to tell you. I had to
we've all got
confess.
character flaws, so it's
Yeah.
whatever. I don't mind.
When you posted a status a couple months ago about like, ugh, people who say Love Actually is their favorite Christmas movie or their favorite movie, and I'm like, oh no, don't comment. Don't comment. Okay, well, the true horror is sexual harassment. So let's get into some other horror Christmas movies or horror holiday movies based on
Oh,
how you had mentioned,
look.
because you said there might be others.
Well, I there might be
Mhm,
others, but I'm
mhm.
not gonna lie, Michelle. I'm not entirely certain I know of any non-Christmas holiday-oriented horror films. Do you?
Mm, yeah, kind of. I mean, we had done a Black Friday, which is like Christmas shopping, but that's still, yeah, it's
It's
still
still
kind of Christmas
Christmas.
adjacent. Yeah, but it's
Eh.
like it's not on Christmas. You might be right.
Are there any Hanukkah horror movies that you know of
I'm
right off the
sure there
top of your
are.
head?
We watched a Jewish vampire story last year, so I'm
We did?
positive there are some out there. Yeah, we did Blood Relatives.
Oh,
And I
right.
just watched that guy in Dead Girl. I watched that movie after it was recommended to us. And it was really hard to watch Dead Girl for the first time and not see that guy as a Jewish vampire.
Oh, fair
It was very
enough.
hard to
What
suspend
did
it.
you as long as you brought it up, what did you
Mhm.
think of Dead Girl?
I really enjoyed it.
It's pretty intense though, right?
Yeah, I guess. I enjoyed it. I don't think I needed a trigger warning. I was given a
So
trigger warning at no time.
apparently there's a horror Hanukkah horror movie. It's just called Hanukkah. And it came
Whoa.
out just a couple of years ago. Looks like 2019. And now I feel bad that I didn't Google this before the moment we started recording this episode. Because I would really like to have seen Hanukkah before we recorded this episode. But at
Well,
least now
you
I've
can
got
still go
something on
watch
my
it.
list of stuff I need to see. Oh, you know what? It's not available on any of the freebies, so I probably wasn't going to get to see it. That's,
Uh, what I really want, so you know how we have really great movie ideas sometimes. That's one of our
uh-huh.
things. We just so many great movie ideas. I would like a Hanukkah horror movie about a cursed menorah that if you light it, your house burns down, and it's kind of Oculus style, where this girl is trying to get revenge on the menorah that killed her family. But you have to stop the menorah from lighting itself,
You could call
and
it
it's constantly, yeah.
you could call it 8 Evil Nights.
Oh
You know,
my
like
God.
that Adam Sandler 8 Crazy Nights movie,
I love Eight Crazy Nights.
except
It's so
it's
awful. I
8
love
Evil
it.
Nights.
Yeah. I really like that. I'm gonna get on that. Gonna
8
go do
Evil
some research.
Nights.
Sounds so good.
And then
Well,
you have like a menorah where like looks like white candles, but then while they're burning, it looks like they're turning blood red.
oh my God. I think you have got a
Um,
winning idea. Whoever's out there, James Cameron, if you're listening and you're
8
looking for
Evil
your next
Nights. Fuck
blockbuster.
Adam Sandler if you're listening.
Oh, you're
Wouldn't that be something? Adam
Oh, that'd be
Sandler's
great.
8 Evil Nights.
Yeah. Adam Sandler, if you're listening, first off, I adore
Somebody
you.
tweet his
I'm a
ass.
huge fan. Yeah. Yeah. Well, holiday horror. Do you have a number one favorite holiday horror movie, JD?
Christmas horror movies, yeah, absolutely I do, and it's interesting that I'm about to say this because what it is it's one of those movies that is such a classic, and I was so certain for so long that I had seen this film. And what I discovered as I sat down to watch it again earlier this year, just a couple of weeks ago, is that I had just constructed the memory of seeing this film in my mind. I had seen plenty of clips and scenes and things from it and discussions about it in a variety of different things. I think at one point I had even started watching the movie, but maybe had not been able to finish it at that particular moment. And anyway, actually, for the first time, just saw it, and it's every fucking bit as good as everybody has ever told you it is, and it's the original 1974 Black Christmas. That movie is
Hmm.
fucking fantastic. And it was also made by Bob Clark, who made A Christmas Story. And I feel like that would be the best Christmas double feature at a theater ever, is you do A Christmas Story at 7, and then you do Black Christmas at 10, and you go from this just white bread, just wholesome, blue collar America family Christmas movie, and then you go into a movie where, like, within the first 10 minutes, there's a dude on the phone saying cunt a bunch, and, like, ladies are getting stabbed and strangled, and it's all fucking. Plus, like, I fucking love Black Christmas.
Hmm. I don't believe I've seen the 1974. I did
Mm.
rewatch Black Christmas last night from 2006.
Oh,
I do not understand why people hate that movie. I could understand people saying it's not a good movie. I do not see it being a only 14% on Rotten Tomatoes level of bad. That is crazy to me. I thought it was fine.
yeah, I know for sure I have not seen either of the remakes, either the 2006 or the 2019 version. It is wild to me that there are now three different Black Christmas films. But I have to strongly recommend, Michelle, that you check out that original 19. It's wild. 1974 was a hell of a year. We got uh, uh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Black Christmas that year. Both these just really foundational and really kind of in their own ways aggressive horror movies, and that's pretty dope.
You should watch Black Christmas from 1974.
You
I
should.
love
What's your favorite Christmas horror movie, Michelle?
Oh, well, 28 Days Later. I've talked about that. Because there is a scene where there are Christmas lights, and also I watch it every Christmas. So that is my default Christmas horror movie. But if it's an actual Christmas theme, Anna and the Apocalypse.
That is one that, okay, guys. So, peek behind the curtain. Michelle and I kicked around the idea of doing a 12 Nights of Christmas sort of horror series that we just weren't able to do with the holiday season and doing all the moving and stuff that we've been talking about that I had to handle. Just weren't able to get it done. But this is one that has been on my radar for a long time. It was on our list for things we were going to see, and I still have not seen it. Michelle, give me the big pitch on Anna and the Apocalypse. Spoiler free, please, but tell me why
Hmm.
I should, as soon as we are done recording and I'm done uploading this episode, should just immediately go watch Anna and the Apocalypse.
Yeah, it's an easy pitch for a certain type of person, which you might be, and that is a Christmas holiday musical about a high school girl and her classmates fighting off zombies. It is Christmas zombies, so they are very, very integrating holiday things into it. It is not just like, oh, this happens to take place on Christmas. Like holidays in general are a gigantic part of it. And it's not a kitschy kind of campy thing. It is 100% very full-fledged, like when characters die, you're sad about it. And it gets really dark at times. And then it just happens to have just these catchy bops. There's one soldier at war that I could not stop listening to, and it is on my playlist of songs I can just hit play on, and they can be on repeat and I'll never get tired of them. It's a very, very, very good movie if you like musicals, and it's surprisingly very dark.
I feel like if your movie is a zombie Christmas musical, you may have made a slight miscalculation not just calling your movie Zombie Christmas Musical. I would have been like, oh shit, this is something I have to see fucking right now. Zombie Christmas Musical. Anna and the Apocalypse. It's a little it's a
It's on
little
Shudder.
flat. I'm not going to lie. The title is
Yeah.
a little flat.
But
But
I do like that because it does set you off a little bit. Like they said zombie Christmas musical, you'd be like, hell yeah, Anna and the Apocalypse. It's not like our selling point is that this is zombies and musicals and we're going to attract musical theater people. That just happens to be how they're presenting the story. It's a solid story. They could cut out the songs and obviously it would be way shorter, but you could still do this exact same story and have a lot of heart behind it. It just happens to be that there are songs that are really, really good throughout.
oh, I don't think you specifically want to like this is not just make sure you tell people it's a musical. This is make sure you tell people it's a musical about zombies and Christmas. Like you need all three of those words in the
Okay, fair.
title are crucial. Zombie Christmas musical. I would have been like,
Yeah,
"Oh shit."
it's
I
so
will I will
good.
give you this if the title had been Zombie Christmas musical, I would have been expecting some serious schlock factor, right? So maybe
Exactly.
maybe with something a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more serious and a little bit more emotionally involving, you may be onto something.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
it is really dark.
Anna and the
Yeah,
Apocalypse doesn't scream "Watch me immediately" is all I'm saying.
that's fair. Now I'm
But
wondering if
I
that's
will.
gonna be the Christmas movie I watch
Here's
tomorrow.
the
Well, I
here's the
might
big
have to
thing though
rewatch that.
is somewhere in there you said I believe the phrase was catchy bops.
Yeah,
Is that a thing kids say about music these days?
I don't think anybody who is hip with it says it, but I say it.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
Catchy
huge
bops.
dork. I
Well,
yeah,
here's what's
catchy
gonna happen
bops.
now, Michelle. Though is I'm
Hmm.
gonna I think you probably sold me. I think when we're done here and I have the
Okay.
episode ready to go, I think I'm gonna start my Christmas day
Yes.
with Anna and
Hmm.
the Apocalypse.
I think I'm gonna
And
watch it right after we get done
two
too.
things two things are gonna need to happen for me to not be utterly disappointed in this
Oh
film.
no.
First of all, it's gonna have to have a solid story that emotionally connects with me in some way.
God, I hope it
Second
does.
of all, it better have at least one or two goddamn catchy bops, Michelle. Because
Okay.
I'm gonna be fair. I've heard some of
Yeah.
the bops that you find catchy,
Hmm.
and your idea of a catchy bop and my idea of a catchy bop are not always the same catchy bop. So we
There is a
shall
song.
see. We shall see.
There there is a song that is it's called It's That Time of Year, and it is kind of like a Eartha Kitt Santa Baby style thing. And if you hear
Santa
that song and
baby.
you
Oh God, why
yeah,
did I
I
do that?
love it.
Gross.
You
Ugh.
sound exactly like her. Good job. Um but if you hear that song and you don't like it, I'm gonna be so surprised. It's pretty brilliant. So
All right. Well, I
I hope
will.
that one sticks with you.
How about I make you a deal, Michelle? How about I will
Hmm.
promise to go and immediately watch Anna and the Apocalypse when we're done here, if you promise to immediately go watch Bob Clark's 1974 Black Christmas as soon as we're done here. I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to try to
I
lord.
am making a note. I can promise you I will watch it tomorrow. I will
Michelle,
absolutely
I
watch
will
it tomorrow.
command what you do with
I
your
know.
time.
But I was like, God, it would be worth it though if it meant that you saw Anne in
No,
the
I'm probably
Apocalypse.
going to
But
watch it anyway.
I think that's what I'm gonna go watch after we get done
It's
recording.
mostly
Now
just going to
I
depend
love that
on
movie.
it's going to depend on how tired I am by the time we're done with this. But
That's
yeah,
fair.
it's
Chug some Red Bull.
it's been like I said, it's been on my list for a while. I've heard lots of good things about it. I am a musical dork and I am a zombie dork, so it could be a real good time.
You know what else you need to go see? Slight tangent. You're a musical nerd, and I sold you on this movie at least a year ago,
Black
and I know
Friday.
you
We
still
watched
have
it.
not seen it. No, Repo the Genetic Opera.
Oh.
You still need to go see Repo.
You didn't. I mean, multiple people have sold me on it over the years, and I've somehow just never managed to get around to
You didn't
seeing
know
it.
it was a musical until I showed you a clip last year and
Look,
showed you that Bill Moseley was in it.
look.
So yeah, go see Repo. Finally.
Maybe, maybe, maybe,
Hmm. It's
maybe.
a good. And the
Uh,
original casting of Paris Hilton's character was played by Shawnee Smith.
Shawnee Smith from
Shawnee,
Saw.
yeah, yep. And
Yep.
I miss her. She would have
Mm,
been so much better.
right on.
Uh, I have a side comment. Just because when we talked about doing a holiday horror episode, I immediately had a thing pop into my head. And the scariest holiday horror movie that I knew of when I was a child was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation because I had not seen it, but I had seen the VHS in my grandmother's collection and thought it was a man being tortured via electrocution. And I was scared shitless of that movie. I never wanted to watch it because I was like, oh my God, this
It's a guy
man,
in
what
a
are they
Santa
doing to
Claus
him?
costume just getting electrocuted.
Yes, it scared the shit out of me. Like I would not even
That's
look at the VHS
hilarious.
case when I would quickly scan past that one because it scared me so much. I was terrified for way too long. And then eventually I was like, hey, I remember being really scared of this movie where a man was electrocuted. Now that I'm into horror, I should go watch it. And then I had to go look up like what is this movie cover art?
And
And I went, it's National Lampoon. Ugh.
yeah,
I have such horrifying memories
it's not a horror
of
movie at
that.
all.
Well, who knows? Maybe it is. Isn't that the one where bad things happen on Christmas to this poor man?
Well, I
To him, it
mean,
was a horror story.
a lot of bad things happen on Christmas to a lot of people.
That's
That's not
fair. Sometimes you
that's
don't get the presents you want from Santa.
maybe life is just
Sometimes you
horror,
find out your
Michelle. Maybe
significant other has another child, and they're leaving you. That's not happening to me. I'm just thinking theoretical horror.
that's
Sometimes they're sold out of eggnog, and
sometimes
you really want some.
sometimes you gotta fist fight another parent for a tickle me Elmo.
I would love to fist fight a parent for a Tickle Me Elmo. It's on my bucket list. I want to fight somebody for
Uh,
a children's toy on the day it's released.
it so to try and rein things in here a little bit. I do find it interesting that like while there aren't many at least to our awareness, horror movies centered around other cultural holiday traditions. There are a fucking lot of Christmas horror movies and stories. I thought about it like even if we widen things out to like the horror and horror adjacent, like even like probably the most popular and famous non-religious Christmas story of all time, at least European based, is Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, and that's a scary ghost movie slash book,
Hmm.
right? That's about a dude who's haunted and tormented by several ghosts over the course of Christmas Eve into Christmas, including horrifying, terrifying premonitions of his own death. I'm sorry if you haven't seen A Christmas Carol in some version at this point. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you should have had a spoiler warning there. I'm sorry. But no, there's just there's a ton of and there's especially a fondness I've noticed, and especially lately, for movies where Santa fucks shit up, right? Like Santa in
Like
some way,
Christmas, Bloody
shape, or
Christmas.
form. Like Christmas Bloody Christmas or Violent Night, which I finally just saw for the
Hmm.
first time. Or a couple of
So
years
much better than I
ago,
thought it
there
would
was
be.
one that it wasn't so much a horror movie as it was like a violent action movie, but Mel Gibson was in it. It's called Fat Man.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so there's just a variety. Even back in the day, there's I believe it's Santa's Sleigh, starring WCW legend
Hmm.
Bill Goldberg as a crazy. It's people like to watch Santa fuck shit up. Do you have a favorite Santa fuck shit up movie?
Oh, well, I was going to mention Violent Night. So since you talked about that one, kinda. Okay, this one's kind of adjacent to Santa fucking shit up. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
Jack Skellington impersonates Santa because he does not understand and then leaves horrifying presents for children instead of the beloved toys that they were expecting. Now that I think about it, you were totally onto something because, yeah, Santa fucks shit up. Also, Gremlins, her father is being Santa and dies in the chimney. Yeah. Sometimes we want to watch Santa fuck shit up. Sometimes we want shit to happen to Santa. Santa is
That's
apparently a crucial part
I guess
of
I
holiday
I
horror.
should I should probably clarify when I say Santa fucks shit up, I don't mean like Santa is the reason the holidays are bad. I mean like Santa
I
goes
know.
on a
I'm
goddamn killing
expanding it.
spree.
I am not convinced that Jack Skellington did not kill any of those children. They were clearly in mortal danger. And it's never completely solidified that none of those children died. So, yeah, Jack Skellington, absolutely a serial killer, whether he intended to be or not. And he would actually consider it a compliment if he thought he was. So, when Santa fucks shit up, absolutely Nightmare Before Christmas is included in that.
No, if you say so.
I
One thing I do
do.
want to
I
talk
absolutely
about,
do.
Michelle, and I'm gonna have to pop in. So there's gonna be a quick edit here in just a moment where I tell you how
Oh,
far you want to skip ahead if you don't want any spoilers about Violent Night. But as long as we're here, and I just saw it within the last couple of weeks, and I know Michelle has seen it, we gotta talk about Violent Night. Michelle, what were your thoughts on this movie? JD here. If you want to avoid spoilers about Violent Night, skip ahead about 2 minutes.
I haven't seen it since last year, so my memories are vague, but I was definitely expecting it to be way more gimmicky than it was, I guess. I
Okay.
expected it to be deliberate B movie,
A little
and
bit
it
more
was not
Christmas,
that.
Bloody Christmas.
Exactly. Like this was going to be ridiculous, and that was going to be the selling point. But then it wound up being like kind of a legit action film in a
Yeah,
way,
yeah, it was a pretty intense
action
action
adjacent.
film. Here's what gory and violent is all hell. I mean, it's called Violent Night and it lives up to it. But Santa Claus is a Viking? Like, that's. Santa Claus was a Viking who killed so many people that his like guilt or conscience or karma or what turned him into like a magical Christmas guy who takes presents to everybody to work off his karmic debt or something. Look, Santa Claus is a Viking fucked me up is all I'm saying. I don't know I don't know what it was about Santa Viking that just like I see takes off his jacket and he's got all those Norse Scandinavian style tattoos and shit. And it's just like, man, what the fuck? I just I didn't know what to think about Santa the Viking. I still don't know what to think about Santa the Viking. Santa the robot makes so much more sense to me than Santa the Viking. I'm still trying to sort it out.
I have nothing to add. You're not wrong.
I
It's
needed to
great.
I needed to take a couple of moments and get
Yeah,
Santa Viking out of my system. So some
you're
of
all
you
good. I
may
time stamped where you're
f-
gonna need to skip. So
awesome. So some of you are probably just coming back. That was a good little chat we had about a couple of small spoilery things, well, big spoilery
I
things from
I
Violent
don't even
Night.
think it's I don't think it's gigantic. People aren't watching it to figure out the origin of some things that happen in that film.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. Like, so other than that, you don't have any specific Santa going on a killing spree type of movie that you really enjoy.
Mm, Not Santa. I do have a
All
different
right.
holiday figure
Well,
who
tell
goes on
me.
a
Oh, you
killing
got a
spree.
Krampus movie?
Hell yeah, I do.
Ah,
I
tell
love
us all
Krampus.
about your Krampus. Krampus
It's
fucking
well,
shit up qualifies.
it's Krampus. Krampus is a character who fucks shit up. I don't even recall what his whole deal is. It's explained very thoroughly in the movie. God, now I'm just
Or are you
making a
talking
list
about
of
the
things
one
I'm
with
gonna have
Adam
to.
Scott?
Yeah, from 2015.
Krampus. I saw that one
German
in the
Christmas Devil.
I saw that in the theater, and at the time I remember not caring for it. I may need to go back and watch it again.
Oh man, I love Krampus. It's also got David Koechner, the guy who's in everything, who we just talked
T-Bones.
about from oh, what the fuck's the name of that movie? Fun, Vicious Fun. See, he's in everything, and I did not know his name, and now I know his name, and he's gonna haunt me
He
because
was
all the movies.
T-Bones in The Naked Trucker and
T-Bones.
T-Bones.
Is that a movie?
It was a show on Comedy Central a while back. It was called The Naked Trucker and T-Bones. And the Naked Trucker was played by the guy who was the guidance counselor on Freaks and Geeks, whose name I can never remember. And David Koechner was T-Bones. And it was like a comedy sketch live performance thing. And the Naked Trucker was naked, and he just held a guitar that was in the way of his... Anyway, Google it. It's a real thing. We're
Love
getting
that.
sidetracked here. David Koechner. What was he in that we were
Very
just
fun.
talking about? Krampus.
Krampus. And yeah, I highly recommend go back, rewatch it. This is one that maybe if you weren't in the correct mindset and you thought like you were going in for a legit horror and then it's a comedy horror that is campy for the sake of being campy, I think you would be thrown off a little bit. Also, it stars Toni Collette, and I've never seen her in something where I did not absolutely adore that woman. Pre Hereditary, even Inside Her Shoes made me bawl like a bitch. It is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Made me
So
bawl like a
yeah,
bitch.
I was just such a little bitch about it, crying my eyes out over this woman and her relationship with her sister, and they come from a broken home. Yeah, it's a great, great film. But Krampus, whatever.
Krampus.
It's so good. Yeah, it's Krampus.
Another Santa fuck shit up horror movie that I definitely want to mention is one from 2010. It's a movie from, I want to say, Finland, called Rare Exports: A Christmas
I still haven't
Tale.
seen it.
And
Yeah,
I don't, this one that I really want to say very little about, because I'm guessing there's quite a few people who have not seen this, but this is a very interesting take on a Santa Claus legend, and it's fucking wild, and I strongly suggest you go check it out. It's
I will.
yeah, it's from Finland, yes, and it's 2010. Hey, here's the best part: 84 minutes. This one's coming in at less than an hour and a half. It's not
Ooh,
going to waste
I
your
love that.
life. No, it's a
You're just
fantastic
mapping out
film.
what I'm gonna watch tomorrow.
Fantastic film. What's the next one you want to talk?
Uh,
We're just this is just
yeah,
declining or not declining, but just descending
I told you it's
into
gonna be a
trade offs.
conversational thing.
What's your next one,
Just this is
Michelle?
how
What's
we talk.
I
When
don't
we hang out,
wanna
you're like, give me a numbered list of discussions. And I was like, we're just hanging out. And you're like, no, I need an outline for how this conversation will go.
tell me
I'm
what's
like,
happening,
Jesus Christ.
please.
Yeah. To write me an essay so we can just dissect it. What is your thesis statement? Have you ever accidentally put on the wrong Jack Frost? Because I have.
No, because I have only ever put on one Jack Frost, and it was the horror one where the Jack Frost comes to life and kills things, and I never
Not the
risked
man becoming a
another.
snowman to bond with his son.
No, not that one at all.
I've definitely intended to put on the man bonding with his son as a man
Oh,
made
I
of
bet you
snow and put
did.
on the horror one.
And you put
My
on
siblings were not
Jack
happy.
Frost. Oh, I bet they were not.
Yeah, it's a different one. But you know what? It's a silly little happenstance. They're all the adults now and only a little bit fucked up. Because, of course, once I discovered, we just kept watching it. Because our family was like, whatever. They're three. They're old enough to know about murder. How are they going to learn if you don't talk to them about it?
That's a
You
fair point.
know,
That's a
you
fair
got to
point.
teach these kids young so that they know how to handle the snowmen who are on murder sprees.
So
Uh,
tell people how you felt about the B slasher Jack Frost, which is
it's
frankly
so
also
funny.
about a snowman coming to life.
It's really funny that you called it a slasher because you're not wrong, but that's very funny. The idea of he's in the same league as Jason and Mike Myers. And he's a
I wouldn't
man
call it
who
the
is a
same
snowman.
league. I'd probably use the word category.
Category. Yes. It's not. a good movie by any means, but it is very fun when you're a child.
It's
You know,
ridiculous, yeah.
yeah, it's not good, but it is very funny when you put it on. It's not what you meant to watch, and then you watch it anyway. And the children you're with are like, "Please, no, we don't want to have to go to therapy when we're older." And you're like, "Shut up, we're watching this man kill people." I was a great babysitter. I was very kind to my younger siblings. I
Clearly,
was I was
clearly.
great.
Uh,
My other one, I want to talk about Inside.
I haven't
How do you
seen
feel about
this.
Inside? Oh man. Listener, if you have not seen Inside, it's a woman who is pregnant and another woman, she's not pregnant, so she needs to steal the baby from the other one, and that baby is inside her. So it's French. The French do a very good job of making really upsetting horror movies, and this is no exception.
Do they?
I
Do they,
Yeah, yeah,
Michelle?
they
Do
made
they?
Martyrs. Yeah. Martyrs is
Hmm.
one of the most disturbing and great cinematic masterpieces of all time.
Yeah, but
Um,
I mean,
but
they
Inside,
also made Raw and Titan, and well, that's just one French
oh,
person, I suppose.
Titan, I forgot.
Oh, that movie.
And my favorite, Jasper Noé, your favorite, he's so
Is
good.
I mean,
He knows
his
what
name
he's
is
doing.
Gaspar. First of all,
Is it Gaspar? I knew it was
yes,
not
it's
Jasper.
Gaspar Noé,
Jasper,
and
Jasper.
we just won't talk about Gaspar.
Oh, well, I'm talking about Gaspar
You go right
Noé,
ahead.
whose name I knew how to pronounce. Anyway, Inside, aka L'Intérieur. I'm pretty sure that was a perfect French accent. Thank you so much for admiring how good I am at pronouncing French words.
L'Intérieur.
Um, it is a woman just trying to cut another woman open so that she
Yeah,
can take the baby. It's great. It takes place on Christmas.
I bet it's not
I
worth
think
an
my
hour and a
favorite
half.
kind of my nope, hour 22 minutes.
Oh shit,
And that
maybe it's
includes
worth
end
looking at
credits.
then.
Mm-hmm.
You keep your
Absolutely.
look, man. There are days where literally the only reason I select a movie is because I'm looking through movies and they're all so goddamn long, and I finally
Hmm.
find one that's less than 90 minutes, and I'm like, yes, thank you, let's watch it.
Yeah, Inside is on Roku right now for free. So
Oh,
you can go
that's
watch that.
probably a good thing I don't have Roku.
You don't need Roku. You need an account like you would any other
Yeah, I know, I
streaming
understand it's a
service.
streaming
Yeah.
channel, but I no, I have it
You,
no.
I don't even think you need an account. I think you can just stream it
Look, Michelle,
like
I
TV.
think we both understand at this point that me and French horror don't really get along. It's not
But you and slashers, you do. And this woman
yeah,
does a
but
lot of
it's
slashing. There's a
there's
whole
yeah,
bunch of blood.
I get off on body horror too, but French body horror doesn't do it for me. So, you know.
Wow. I bet you haven't even watched the movie with a woman who has sex with an amusement park ride.
I may have. I'm not sure. I've watched a movie where a woman has sex with things that are not even alive, and I don't want to give too much away, but like there's a movie where a lady fucks a fire truck. That's a whole thing.
Okay.
I don't
After
like.
this, you're gonna have to tell me what that movie is, because
I,
what?
I
Why
don't.
was the movie not called Fire Fuck?
That's a good question, but
Hmm.
nah, it's French. It's fine. There, it's if you like it, you like it. It's fine.
I do.
Uh,
I like French. Also
look.
Puka.
Hey, I'm
Puka.
not done here. How come you get to do
Oh
three
shit.
in a row and then I'm
Oh, you
done?
actually have movies to talk about? You told me to drive the train. I was driving it. Beep beep. That's the sound my train makes. And they're like, why didn't we give it a standard train horn so that people can hear it from
I was
two
just
cities away so
asking you
that
to
we can
lead
warn them? Beep
I
beep.
I was asking you to lead the conversation, Michelle.
Okay, perfect. I'm sorry.
And you were the one
I'm
who
so
was like,
sorry.
"Oh,
I
it's
got
trying to be a
aggressive.
conversation," and then you just no,
Yeah,
I rarely get the opportunity to jump down your throat about talking too much.
I
So
know. I'm so sorry.
no,
I'm just gonna turn my microphone off.
I no, I know you mentioned it just briefly there, but we would very much be remiss if we didn't talk about Gremlins, which is an iconic film for a lot of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s. And the wild thing about it is, I remember obviously seeing it as a kid, and then every time I go back and watch it as an adult, I'm just like, man, every one of us probably saw this a few years earlier than we should have, because it's like as monster movies go, like it's legitimately creepy and kind of violent and messed up. Like you never actually see anybody die on screen, so they can keep that PG or PG-13 or whatever rating. But yeah, it's just classic Gizmo the Mogwai. You get those gremlins whose eggs look like xenomorph eggs from Alien. I actually sat down and watched it with my mom about a week and a half ago. One that she's somehow never seen Gremlins, and so I made her watch it, and she thought it was ridiculous, but she's weird. But no, it's just classic, super fun. What are your thoughts on Gremlins?
I had a Gremlins Furby
Did you really?
when I was a child. Yeah, I did.
Was it a Gremlin Furby or was it a Mogwai Furby?
It was specifically well, it was Mogwai. It was
It
what's
was
the main
Gizmo.
guy's name? Gizmo. Thank you. Oh my God, I knew that. Yeah, it was a Gizmo Furby,
Right on.
and it was adorable.
That's dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just
But yes, I love Gremlins. Obviously, we had a
iconic
Gizmo.
film. Here's a better question to follow up with though. Not a Christmas movie, but as long as we're on the franchise, what are your thoughts on Gremlins 2: The New Batch?
God, I don't remember. I have not seen it in a very long time. And when we watched a lot of Gremlins, that was actually something now that I'm thinking about. We watched a lot of Gremlins, and I know we watched Gremlins too, and I loved it, but I was also a child. So I'm sure watching it now, I'm gonna be like, ugh. But I have fond memories of it from the vague recollection I
Oh
have.
yeah,
I know I liked it.
when you're like
Yeah,
7 or 8 years old, it's a trip.
exactly.
It's not a it is not quite the film that its predecessor was. But it also
Hmm.
has a cameo from Hulk Hogan in one of the first like meta cinema things I've ever seen in my life, like self-aware cinema. And it's something I will never forget seeing in the theater. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? My little
He's
nine
got you
year
going
old
wild
brain
on
just
him.
couldn't handle it. Anyway, you should definitely you should revisit it at least once when you have a chance. But
Yeah,
you
I
should
plan on rewatching Gremlins
I
because
was
it's
gonna
been a
say
while, so I'll
you
probably
should
just
revisit
skip
Gremlins
over.
every few years. It's a
Yeah,
fantastic Christmas horror
that
movie.
one I know I have seen not too long ago. I love that monologue about the father
Oh yeah,
dying in the
yeah.
chimney.
Phoebe
Oh
Cates
God,
just knocked it out of the park.
it's so good. It's one of the
Yeah.
best Christmas horror monologues ever, if not the only. Am I allowed to bring up my last
Yes.
movie? It now do I I'm not jumping the gun? My
Allowed.
train.
Wow.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm saying like it's okay to
yeah.
never mind. I won't
Go
talk about
ahead.
Puka.
Go ahead.
Puka. Puka.
What
I doubt you've seen Puka.
I
Have
haven't
you
yet.
seen
It
Puka?
was on my
Okay.
again one that was on our list of ones that we were gonna try and
Mm-hmm.
see for the 12 nights of holiday horror, and
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't had a chance to get around to it. Please tell me about Puka.
Point number one, it is only an hour and 23 minutes. Point number two, it came from that Into the Dark series that Hulu was doing, where each movie corresponded to that month's holiday. So, like Valentine's Day was two people trapped in an elevator who are falling in love, as far as we can tell. This
Falling
was
down an
their
elevator shaft. It
Christmas one.
sounds like.
Nice, nice.
Mm.
Puka was a Christmas
Mm-hmm.
one where a man is playing a mascot for the new toy Puka. He starts putting on the mascot costume and slowly developing a second personality because Puka's whole thing is he's kind of mischievous, kind of like those Sour Patch Kids.
Like an
First they're
elf on the
naughty, then
shelf.
they're nice. Yeah, exactly, like a lovable little rapscallion. And so he starts becoming that Puka and then his normal self, and they start splitting a little bit more, or he becomes a little too much like Puka.
Oh, so it kind of gets
I
possessed
love
by
it.
the spirit of Puka,
Yeah. And
sort of.
Puka's very, very creepy.
I like the number of times
Very
we're getting to
cute.
say Puka.
I know it's so fun. There's also a catchy little song. I have now forgotten the lyrics to it, but for a long time, it was one of
Super
those like
catchy,
that would
apparently.
yeah, it's super catchy. It's been a while since I've seen it. I remember the rhythm. It's puka see, puka do, puka something, voo, voo, voo. What kind of things could puka do? It's cute.
Fair
It's
enough.
really cute. It's
I
something
believe
like
you.
that, but it's been a long time. Yeah. But that little theme song jingle that he does is good. It's kind of no, I was gonna say, do I compare it to Megan? But probably not. But it is like child's toy that is too creepy and already on uncanny territory before you know that there's something evil going on. Puka is just it's a good time. People out there who have not seen it, check it out. If you don't like it, that's okay. There are
On
clearly
Hulu,
people who are not
correct?
gonna like everything. Yep. And it was part of the Into the Dark series, and oh man, I love that Into the Dark series.
That's not the one
Yeah.
they did. No, the one I'm thinking of is Welcome to the Blumhouse, where they have all of those
Oh, that's
movies
different.
from.
Yep.
Yeah,
There was also
that's
that one. I forgot where that's streaming.
also on
But
Hulu, I believe. Maybe on
oh
Prime.
yeah.
Maybe on Prime. Now that I don't. It doesn't
Mm,
matter.
it's been a while. Yeah.
Only other holiday horror movie that I wanted to mention is another one that I saw just recently. One that I think we were going to be looking at for the series, but I don't remember if we had finalized. It's a movie called Better Watch Out. Have you
Mhm.
seen Better Watch Out, Michelle?
I thought I had until I had looked into it a little bit more to when we were still toying around with being able to do a lot of episodes about individual movies. And now I'm not sure. So I did add it to my list to get around to eventually. I thought I had,
I
but
uh,
I don't know for sure.
I had never seen it before sitting down to watch it here as part of the holiday season, and I'd heard like almost it's an all right film. It's clever. It's got some interesting spins on things, but it's another perfect example of like it's so important to be so careful about how you talk about things. Because like for example, the more I think the more aggressively you drive people to make sure they avoid spoilers for something, the more you kind of put them on guard while they're watching. Anyway, this is a very similar to experience for me to what what I had that I've talked about with the first Saw film. Is this movie would have been a whole lot more enjoyable for me if I hadn't been put so on guard by so many people talking about the movie and making me at least aware that something was going to happen that I shouldn't see coming, that I saw it all coming. And it was unfortunate. It is a good, much like Saw, I thought it was a very clever film. I thought if I hadn't been like if somebody had just said, "No, it's a cool Christmas horror movie, go check it out," I probably would have gotten a whole lot more out of it. But I do recommend you check it out if you haven't seen it. It is a really interesting story in its own way. I just wish I hadn't figured it all out.
I feel like I'm confusing it with another movie and I can't think of what that other movie is. This is not exciting to anybody else. So
Better watch
I'm
out.
gonna
You
have to go
might be
explore.
confusing it with the hide and seek movie with Elrond's daughter in it.
You know what?
Why
Maybe.
can't I remember? Is the one where well, I
I'll
can't
figure
tell
it
you
out.
what
We'll
happens
get
at
back
the
to
end
you.
because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But
Yes. So it's potentially that I have seen this and potentially that I have not. But I will report back. What I can say that I will see is Anna and the Apocalypse for like the 20th time.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna go check that out here as soon as
And
this
then some Black
episode is
Christmas.
done. Black Christmas is dope. Um, I don't know what else.
Treevenge.
I did watch
Treevenge.
Tree Venge.
You did watch it? Oh my
It's
God.
just a
You
short,
guys,
right?
yeah, it is Treevenge. It is a 2020 short film on YouTube that is only 16 minutes. I am
It's
not talking
it's
about the full
hilarious.
length
It's
Treevenge
super
from
dope.
like 2017. Oh my God, I did not expect it to be such high quality and very funny and I don't know if I'd say good practical effects, but not like campy. I like when things aren't just deliberately bad and that's their selling point. I want them to be good but silly.
For
And
sure, for
Treevenge
sure.
It's a Jason Eisner film on YouTube. You know what? You got 16 minutes and 1 second to kill. Those trees are gonna kill. You should go watch them do that. Kill your 16 minutes while these trees kill people.
Yeah,
Tree Venge. Jason
Tree
Eisner,
Venge.
YouTube it.
Strongly
It's so
recommended.
good.
I think
Thank
the
you,
movie.
Nolan, for
I think the
introducing me
movie
to
you
that.
might be confusing Better Watch Out with is Ready or Not.
Nope.
Oh, okay, because I get those two confused all the time just because of the rhythm of their titles. Better Watch Out, Ready or Not. I don't know. I always get those
Yeah.
two confused. Anyway,
Yeah. Nope. That is not it. I actually think I might be confusing the film with itself, and I will watch it and
you
be like,
know,
"Oh, this is the movie I was thinking of the
here's
whole time."
here's a fun little bit of oh, this is how JD's brain works. Is I'm just realizing that my whole tirade there about how you got to be careful about talking about movies because you might put people too much on guard for what's about to happen and they may be able to
It
figure it
did
all
what
out.
you were
As I
complaining
did
about.
exactly. Yeah, well, Merry Christmas, everybody. I just put. Michelle, what's wrong with me?
I think you're putting too much pressure on yourself. It
Who,
is
me?
fine.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, there's a movie and a surprising thing happens in it. I hope so. All good movies have at least one good surprise.
Me? Me, the guy who withdrew from a comedy festival that he was going to get into because he couldn't handle the pressure of waiting for the decisions to be announced? Never.
I know the comedy festival you're talking about. I made it to day two. Holla. Half of
Shut
us
up.
did, though.
Shut up.
I was a little too drunk. That was a
Uh,
good time.
Drunk
That was
is a.
like one of my favorite comedy experiences ever, was that festival, but people don't need to hear about it. They just need to know that we're hilarious.
And we're
Great.
neurotic and having a good time,
So
guys.
neurotic.
Hit
So
us up.
neurotic.
We've talked about it previously, but hit us up on the social medias at We Watch Shutter on everything you
I
go
want to hear
through.
from you. I get so excited when I see notifications. I
Tell
talked
us
to a
about
guy on
your
TikTok. That was
tell
cool.
yeah tell us about your favorite holiday horror movies. If there's a horror movie about the holidays that's not about Christmas that you know of, turn us on to it. I'm gonna do my best actually to find this movie Hanukkah from a couple of years ago and give that a look. I would love to
I'm gonna
know.
make my Menorah murder spree movie.
Yeah, yeah, Eight Evil Nights. Let's
Eight Evil Nights.
make it
I'm selling it.
happen.
I'm gonna contact Adam Sandler. We're on first name basis now,
Yeah,
Adam.
just call
I'm
him
just gonna
Ad.
call him and be like, "Yo, Adam. First off, SNL, the best of Adam Sandler DVD, very good. Your best work. Now that I've got you buttered up, we have to talk." And he's gonna be like, "Hell yeah, I'd love to do that." He's doing like family comedies now, and it's very cute. He
Is it?
has two. Yeah, he has
Okay.
two out on Netflix. One of them is he's a classroom iguana, and they get to take him home. Is he an iguana? I don't remember. Maybe he's a turtle. He's something that's kept in a terrarium, and Bill Burr is his fellow terrarium mate, and he gets to go home with the children, and he helps them with their problems, and it's very cute, and it's a little musical. It's adorable.
Oh, please
I
tell
love
me
that
Adam
Adam Sandler
Sandler
has.
doesn't sing.
Oh, of course he does.
Of
He
course he
also
does.
does like I don't know how to say what his voice is, but he does an iconic Adam Sandler voice that when it begins the movie, I'm like, how am I going to watch a full-length movie of this voice? And then you know what? It grows on you. Just you can imagine what an old terrarium creature would sound like if played by Adam Sandler, and you'll know the voice when you hear it.
Fair
It
enough.
is. It's a character. It's
Is
like,
it the
is it
stop
the
looking
water
at me
balloon?
swan voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that voice. And you know what? I love it. I'm a huge Adam Sandler guy. I can't wait until we make this movie together. He's gonna love it. He's gonna be like, "Oh, man,
Eight
you're
evil
bringing me right back
nights.
into it. I do need to make holiday horror some more."
Maybe
I'm gonna be like,
maybe
"Yeah,
eight
Eight
murder
Crazy Nights. Love
nights.
that movie."
Oh, eight murder nights. That's got a nice rhythm to it.
I do need this to be a musical, a Menorah murder
Eight murder
musical.
nights is good. Yeah, I
Oh, why
think
not
eight
just a
murder nights.
murder musical? We can fight about the title later. I'm sure Adam will have an opinion on what we call this film. So we
Probably.
can talk to him. He'll probably get like some of his buddies on the phone to talk about it. Like, I don't know, let's get Dana Carvey in this movie. He's gonna play the menorah. I feel like we really got this coming together. I
Dana
also Dana
Carvey as
Carvey
the
and I
menorah.
Yeah, but I do want him to play. You know what? We need him to channel his character from
I
Master of
I was
Disguise. I
literally
want that
about to
Dana
say,
Carvey.
what about Dana Carvey as the menorah, as played by his character from Master of
Yep.
Disguise?
I Master of Disguise makes me so happy, and it's so bad, but I love Master of
Oh,
Disguise.
Michelle,
It's not a good movie. I am not
Michelle.
saying in any way, shape, or form
No,
that it's a good movie, but I like watching it.
I just had a thought.
Okay.
What if Eight Murder Nights is a slasher film, but the killer's weapon is a menorah, except instead of candles, it has knives in it?
You make it a sentient menorah that talks to the killer and gives him thoughts of how to murder people, and I'm in.
James
But I do
Wan
still
is
need
in
Dana.
too. Holy shit.
I need Dana Carvey to also voice the menorah.
He needs
I
to-
want Dana Carvey to be the murderer and the voice of the menorah, where the voice of the menorah is his character from Master of Disguise.
We are, this podcast is not long for the world because we're about to make it stinking rich off 8 Murder Nights.
It's been fun, but yeah, 8 Murder Nights coming to a Blockbuster near you. Well, I got nothing more to add.
I got
Do you
nothing else
more
to
add?
No, we've rambled on for damn near an
Cool.
hour. Say goodnight,
Well,
Michelle.
happy holidays, everybody. Good night, Michelle.
We Watch Shudder is a production of Rat Factory Media, your home for all of today's Rat Factoryist podcasts. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests of We Watch Shudder are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Rat Factory Media. But wait, aren't Rat Factory Media and We Watch Shudder the same people? Shut your cake hole, Charlie. Nobody asked you. We Watch Shudder is available free on all major podcast platforms, and the easiest way to support We Watch Shudder is also free. Just leave a rating and review on your platform of choice. Merge your consciousness with ours on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We're at We Watch Shudder on all those social media platforms. Or find us the old-fashioned way, on the web at WeWatchShudder.com or by email at mail@WeWatchShudder.com. Heck, you can even leave us a voicemail at 701-566-9510. No, seriously, 701-566-9510. Try it if you dare.